Sony has announced today that it will stop producing physical media for PlayStation effective January 2028. Sony states this is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical disc. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. Basically, we want to cut costs as much as possible, and we want to make sure we have full control over your library. And the timing on all of this is quite convenient. A few days ago, Sony confirmed that it will remove 551 movies and TV series from the PlayStation Store in the UK on September 1st, 2026. Oh, that's not a big deal, right? I bought it, I own it, like I'll still be able to play the content. Wrong. It will also be deleted from customers' libraries who have already purchased it. And Sony did not mention anything about refunds, suggesting affected users will not be compensated at all. And this is the future you could look forward to. Now that physical media is gonna die, the only way to purchase content is through digital libraries, and Sony could just delete it if they want to. This is the exact kind of future I predict. A new game series called Juggernauts comes out 2032. It's digital only. 10 years later, Juggernauts gets a re-release. It gets a remaster. But now they delete the original Juggernauts from your profile, and you have to buy the remaster. The original one is now lost media. You are not able to access it at all. And you may be saying, well, everybody buys games digitally. What's the big deal about switching to fully digital media and losing the physical aspect? Because now you are fully at the mercy of whoever owns your hardware. PC doesn't have that problem because you can buy from Steam, you can buy from the Epic Games Store, you can buy from G2A, you could buy from third-party sites. You're not locked to a specific platform. Where on Sony, for PlayStation, you're locked to the Sony store. On Xbox, you're locked to the Xbox store, the Microsoft store. For Nintendo, you're locked on the Nintendo shop. And what keeps these companies in check, in a way, is the physical editions. Because you could have a bunch of physical editions at a GameStop that's cheaper. You buy a physical edition, you don't want it anymore, you list it on eBay, and you can buy it cheaper. For example, Black Ops 6 you get for $20 shipped on eBay. Where on the PlayStation store, you're paying $27. On top of paying less, once you're done with it, once you had your 6 months to a year fun of Black Ops 6, you can relist it again on eBay and recoup some of the cost. So really, that 1 year you enjoyed Black Ops 6, maybe it only costs you $5 to $10, where you're stuck having it on your platform forever and can't resell it if you buy it digitally. I know a majority of people do not do that, but it is always nice to have that option there, especially for expensive single player games. And I know right now it's only Sony doing it, and don't get me wrong, Microsoft is going to follow suit within 2 years. So you're probably gonna have this whole campaign in 2027 through 2029 about, look, we still have a disk drive, we still keep the disk drive. It's the same thing Samsung did with the headphone jack, and then they're gonna get rid of it 2 years later. By 2030, 2031, Microsoft is gonna cut physical content as well. Nintendo will probably be the last company to cut physical media, just because of how important cartridges are to the Switch environment. The gaming system market right now just sucks. Everything costs more. The price of the Series X is now $750, up $250 from what it launched at. You know, usually consoles go down in price over the lifetime, but because of how expensive parts are getting, consoles are getting more and more expensive for hardware that's getting more and more outdated. And with Microsoft saying they expect more memory shortages, I wouldn't be surprised if these consoles reach almost $1,000 for something that released almost a decade ago. And on top of that, we're losing features that we have had in consoles since the beginning. This is the future that they want. They want a fully digital world where you have no actual ownership over anything. Things are going to cost more money, and you have no choice other than to accept it because you can't play it anywhere else. So if buying isn't ownership, piracy isn't stealing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sony and Rockstar talked about a physical release for GTA 6. If GTA 6 had a physical release, a physical disc, Sony would not be able to get away with this. GTA 6 is going to be one of the biggest games in the next 5 years. It is going to continue to top the charts, both physically and digitally. So there's no way this wasn't coordinated on Rockstar and Sony's end. Because if GTA 6 had a disc, they could have delayed this whole fully digital thing at least up until 2030, 2032. But nope, physical media is dead. Expect all the other companies to follow suit.